only mode.
Namaskara Swagatam Adya Bruhaspativasalah Saptavimsha Dinankaha Sayankalaha Raghuvamshakavyam Dwadasha Sargaha Ekona Chaturvimshaha Shlokaha Ekona Chaturvimshati Tamashlokaha no sorry Chatvarimshaha Ekona Chatvarimshaha Chaturvimshati would be 24. We're doing number 39. So it's Ekona Chatvarimshaha Shlokaha. Okay. Mangalacharanam Ramo Rajamanis Sada Vijayate Ramam Ramesham Bhaje Ramena Bhiyata Nishachara Chamu Ramaya Tasmai Namaha Raman Nasti Paranam Parataram Ramasya Dasosmyaham Rame Chittale Sada Bhotume Rama Mamuttara Rama Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasranama Tatthilyam Rama Nama Varanane Shri Rama Nama Varanana Onnama Iti Atha Shri Maheshwara Sutrani I Un Rulrak E Ong I Ouch Hayavarat Lanya Nyamanga Na Nam Jabing Garadash Jabagadash Kapha Cha Cha Tsa Cha Cha Tsav Kapai Sha Sha Sar Hal Iti Maheshwara Sutrani. So it is Ekona Chatvarimshaha Shlokaha 39. So I think we read the verse last time, didn't do any Vyakaranam, etc. It's not a very difficult verse. Let's read it one more time. Lakshmanaha Prathamam Shrutva Kokila Manjuvadinim Shiva Ghoraswanam Paschad Bubudhe Vikrate Titam. Lakshmana Prathamam Shrutva Kokila Manjuvadinim Shiva Ghoraswaram Paschad Bubudhe Vikrate Titam. Padacheda is Lakshmanaha Prathamam Shrutva Kokila Manjuvadinim iti samastam padam Shiva Ghoraswanam Paschad Bubudhe Vikrata iti tam. So that there is iti is a quotation, is an avyayam. It's an end quote. End quote, as we have seen in the daily examples many times, is there is an end quotation. We have to figure out where the quote begins. So here only Vikrata is in quotation. That's the first order of business, If you're reading in English, you see an end quote, obviously you have to figure out where the quotation begins. If you see an iti in Sanskritam, we have to know from the context where the quotation begins. So it is Vikrita is the only word which is inside the quotation. Vikrita ititam bhuvde. Okay. Lakshmanaha prathama ekvachanam, nothing special. Ramo shabdaha. Prathamam is an adjective here, but functioning like an adverb, dhatu shru. So having heard at first in the beginning, earlier. You can say earlier is a good way to say prathamam. Even though prathamam is first, also means like earlier. So having heard earlier. So there is this vartikam. Because here it's a visheshanam. It has been declined as napumsakalinge dvitya ekvachanam. Dvitya ekvachanam. I think I mentioned in the class a few times this sutram, which is in the 2.4.18, Panini has sutram called sanapumsakam and then avyayabhavascha. Under avyayabhavascha there is a vartikam. He says that these adverbs, these adjectives can be used as adverbs, decline in the neuter with dvitiya ekavachanam. So there is a vartikam on 2.4.18 which says that kriya visheshananam cha klibata ishyate karmatvam cha ishyate. There is a partha veda here. So kriya visheshananam karmatvam klibata cha ishyate. So this is a vartikam on 2.4.18. So this prathamam is functioning as an adverb. It is not clear, it's not an adjective. If you look at the shlokaha, there is no adjective here to be, no noun to be qualified with prathamam. So this is the test. If you see an apumsakalinga visheshanam, which is dvitiya ekvachanam, there is no nama shabda for it to qualify, then think of adverb. think of adverb use. Sukham jivati, samam dhavati, So these are all these places where, so this word prathamam is adverb. Prathamam is used here as an adverb, means at first, in earlier. So the vartikam here is kriya visheshananam klibata chishyate. This become like this. Let me see. No, okay. Let me try it again. 1 second. Kriya visheshananam klibata ishyate, and sometimes also karmattam cha ishyate. That's also sometimes there. So this is the Vartikam. Now in Gita, Bhagavad Gita, quick example, Kriya Visheshan Klibata Ishyate, and we can say Karmattam cha Ishyate. So also Karmattam. Karmattam cha Ishyate. Okay. So remember this, if you see a neuter adjective decline in Dvitiya Ekvachanam, and it is not a Visheshanam, then it could be an adverb. And in Gita, let me see, Vikayan Cheshyate, Karmattam Cheshyate, Dukkham Aptama Yogataha, comes in Gita chapter 6. It is the Asamshayam Mahabaho Manodurnigraham Chalam Abhyasin Kaunte Vairagya Chagrijate Asanyatatmana Yogo Dukhamaptama let me see, I think it's somewhere in let me see, Dukhamaptama Yogataha. So Dukhamaptum is not to obtain sorrow, but with difficulty. Dukhamaptama Yogataha. I'm sorry. Here it is, 5.6. Sannyasistu mahabaho dukkham aptum ayogataha. Doesn't mean to obtain sorrow. It means that it is obtained with difficulty, with sorrow. So this is dukkham aptum. Dukkham is it is functioning as an adverb. So there will be, sometime you will see that. So let us go back to shlokaha. Is the So Prathamam Shrutva, having heard earlier, at first having heard her, Shrutva, of course you can see the Pratyaktva in there, didn't put in the document because it is Samanakritakyoho Purva Kale. We've seen this in the daily examples many times. If you have the same Karta doing two actions, Samanakarta, then the Purva Kala Vartini Kriyayaha, so Vartinyaha Kriyayaha. That dhatu will take the tva pratyaya. Because the pratyak tva is a kit, there will be no gunadesha, because kiniticha 115 stops the gunadesha, which would have happened by sarvadhatuka ardhataka yoho. So Lakshmanaha Shrutva. So you should find out always the pratyak tva, always find out who is the samanakarta, in this case Lakshmanaha, and what is the uttara, which is uttaravartini kriya, bubudhe. So basically Shrutva Bubudhe. So having heard her, like as such and such, he realized, he understood. So Shrutva is a Ktvantam Avyayam because of the Sutram Ktva Tosun Kasunaha. Ktva Tosun Kasunaha. These are very simple rules. You try to use them, practice them. Ktva Tosun Kasunaha for 140 gives the Avyaya Sanya. So it put them ending Ktva. These are not put in the document because you have the daily examples, many examples you have. So these are not put in the document. So Shrutva. Now Kokila Manjuvadinim. Let's see what Malinatha says. Lakshmanaha. Prathamam, no commentary. Kokila Manjuvadinim. And Paschat Shiva Vad. He does give a Vigraha Vakyam for this one. Shiva Ghoraswanam. So Paschat Shiva Vad Ghoraswanam. Tam Shurpanakam Shrutva. So he has put that there is, as always I told you many times, there is a pronoun, there is a tat shabda in tam. So tam has Shurpanakam behind it. So always identify which is the noun behind the pronoun. So tam Shutva. And that Shurpanakha has two more adjectives over here. So Prathamam Kokila Manjuvadinim. Paschat Shiva Ghorasvanam. Of course, Paschat is an avyayam. Paschat is of course an avyayam. Paschat means later, afterwards. So these two are like opposites. So Prathamam is earlier and Paschat is later. Prathamam is earlier, Paschat is later. So let's look at this one first, because we have the Vigraha Vakyam given by Malinatha. So he says Shivavad Ghorasvanam. See, this is one thing we have to remember, is that the commentator will not give you the sutram. He will not even mention the fact this is a Karmadharya compound, this is a Upamanam or Upama. Looking at the canned Vigraha Vakyam, at the standard Vigraha Vakyam, we have to be able to back out what kind of samasa it is. This is very, very important. So you can make use of these commentaries well for understanding compounds, but you have to know what Vigraha Vakyam is being used by the commentator and what does it signify. Okay, so Shivavat Ghorasvanam. What he's pointing to is this sutram, which is 2155. So make a note of this. If you see in the commentary a Vigraha Vakyam like this, Shivavat, that Vati is being used over here. It's similar to that. So it is Upamanani Samanya Vachanaihi. So it is, the example is Megha Shyamaha. So Megha Iva Shyamaha. Atha Meghavat Shyamaha. So this Upamanam is there. And Upamanani is Prathama Nirdishtam. So for those of you attending the Wednesday class, you know that Prathama Nirdishtam Samasa Upasajanam Purvam. So Megha Shyama is the compound here. So we say Meghavat Shyamaha, dark like a cloud. So Upamanani Samanya Vachani. There has to be a Samanya Vachanam, means Samana Dharma should be in the compound as the Uttarapadam. So the Shyamaha is the Shyamatvam, you can say. That is the common attribute between the Upamanam and the Upameya. So somebody like Shri Krishna or Vishnu is Meghavat Shyamaha. Meghavat Shyama. So Megha Shyamaha. So that is the Vigraha Vakyam of that is Megha Iva Atva Meghavat Shyamaha. So this is a Karmadharya compound. Look at the section we are in. We are in the section of Tatpurusha compounds from 2122 up to 222, 2122 up to 2222 Tatpurusha. Within that, Panini starts this Purvakalik Sarva Jarat Purana Navakevalaha Samanadhikaranena. Of course, Panini has already defined this, the Sanya of Karmadharya from Tatpurusha Samanadhikaranaha Karmadharya. And so now we are using 2155. So this is a Karmadharya compound. Karmadharya Upamana Samanya Vachanihi. So that is what is being indicated by Malinatha here by saying that Megha, sorry, not here, Shivavat. Now here Shiva is a female jackal. It's an interesting name. This is also called Shiva. Shiva is not Parvati over here. Shiva has few different meanings. Here it is a female jackal is called Shiva. It comes in the Devi Mahatmyam. Shiva Shata Ninadini. Shiva Shata Ninadini. Comes in Shiva Shata Ninadini. So the Devi had taken such a form. Shiva Shata Ninadini. So she was sounding like 100 jackals. That's in the Chandipatha. You have the word Shiva in that. Shiva Shata Ninadini. I think chapter 8 it is there. So Shiva Vad Ghorasvanam. So she was now had a terrible voice like a female jackal. So she was Kokila Manjuvadini, then she was Shivavat Ghorasvanam. Now, so before we can decipher this compound, let's look at Ghorasvanam. The Ghorasvanam, the Vigraha Vakyam, has not been given to us. It's a straightforward compound. Let's go to our document, and here we have that. This is in the wrong place. I'm sorry. It's the wrong place. I'm sorry. This is the wrong place. Okay. So what we have is that we have so Ghoraha Swano Yasyaha Sa Ghorasvana. So she's one whose voice is terrible, or fierce. So one who has a terrible voice. So ghoraha, ugly or terrible. So ghoraha, ugly voice. Ghoraha swanaha yasyaha sa, swano yasyaha sa, ghora swana. This is of course we seen it in yesterday's class, anekamanya padarthe. And then also because the ghoraha is the visheshanam, saptami visheshane bahuvrihav. Let's take the purnapataha. Straightforward bahuvri compound. That's why that there was no vigraha vakyam given to us from Malinatha, because it is a spashtam. So ghora swana is a bahuvri compound. So ghoraha swano yasyaha sa, one who has a terrible voice. And then we make a karmadharya compound, that Shiva iva ghora swana. So she is one who has a terrible voice like a female jackal. Like a female jackal. So now you can understand how we had Megha Iva or Megha Vat Shamaha, and compare that to this Shivavat Ghorasvana. So Ghorasvana is, remember these Bahuris are great adjectives. So just like Megha Vat Shamaha, the Shama was an adjective. Same thing here, that Ghorasvana, even though Svanaha is a noun, it is now a part of a Bahuvri compound, become Anyapada Pradhanaha. And it is an adjective now. So the only complicated thing here was that we had a Bahuvri compound inside a Karmadharya compound. Only thing that he has given here is the Karmadharya compound Vigraha Vakyam. He has not given the Vigraha Vakyam for the Bahuvri compound. It's straightforward. So one more time, let's go to document here. It says that, so Ghoraha Swanaha Yasyaha Sa Ghora Swana. Then Shiva Ghora Swana is Upamanani Samanya Vachanaihi. So Shivavat, Shiva Iva Ghora Swana. It's a Karmadharya compound. So we had a Bahuvri compound, adjective. It went inside, it became a second member of a Karmadharya compound. That's what's happening here. So the first compound, Manju, which is Manojnyam. Manju is like delightful, pleasing. Manju Vaditum Sheelam Asyaha Sa Manju Vadini. Like Ushna Bhoji, So one who does something habitually. This is the adhikara which passes. Look, this sutram is the Upapada Samasaha. Upapada Samasaha. So it says that, so Manju Vadini is Upapada Samasa. You can say Manju Vadati Tachila, means she is one who naturally speaks very soft, very gentle, very pleasing. So firstly, when you want to make Upapada Samasa, is only one sutram which Panini has. Before that, if you want to make any compound, we have to find a sutram in 2.1 or 2.2 of the Ashtadhyayi, which gives us the authority to form a compound. And there's only one sutram, main sutram here to form Upapada Samasa is Upapadam Ating. Upapadam Ating, which means that a qualified Upapadam, in this case Manju, can compound with another Shabdantarena, Samarthena Shabdantarena, another term, to form a Upapada compound. It's a special case of a Tatpurusha compound, as long as Ating. We are not compounding to make a Tingantam Padam. Clearly this is not a Tingantam Padam, this is a Subantam Padam. So here what happens, normally we have sup supa, a sup compounds another sup. But in Upapada Samasaha, this Vadini does not have independent existence. We cannot create this sup before making the compound. So Panini says that you can take a qualified Upapadam and compound it with another term. It doesn't have to be a Subantam, as long as you're not creating a term ending in a Ting Pratyaha. So that is what 2219 tells us. Now to find out which other qualified, where is the Upapada Sanyakam, that we have to go to. And this has all been covered in detail in the Wednesday class, so we will not keep it too long. But here 3192, Panini in the Dhato Adhikara, which starts from 3191, Panini says the next sutra, he says Tatra Upapadam Saptami Stham. In this Adhikara of Dhato, starting from here to the end of chapter 3, the Saptami Stham, the term indicated by the Saptami, is going to be the Upapadam. And as I said, many of the important sutras for that come from 3 to 1, from Karmanyan, from to 3 to around 100, 101. And there is sutram there which says that Supya Jato Dinis Tachilye. So we have supi, can be any soup, doesn't have to be karma. So soup is an upapadam. Look at supi. Supi is saptami. Saptami stam, indicated by the saptami. So not the exact word soup, but the anything which is a subantam. It has to have samarthyam. It has to be a connected word. If such a word is an upapadam, it should be ajatav. It should not be a jati vachaka shabda. Clearly manju is not a jati. So then the pratyaya nini can be taken after, doesn't say which dhatu. It's only dhatoho. Samanyana vidhanam. So it doesn't say this dhatu, that dhatu. It's any dhatu can take. But tachilya, it has to be in the sense of habitually doing habitually. So now we can use this sutram because we have a saptami in here. Tattvapadam saptamistam. So when there is a sup as an upapadam, then in general any dhatu can take the pratyaya nini as long as tachilya. Means that it is a habitual thing. So we use that and then we make it so when we add this system, otherwise this thing dhatu is vad, so becomes vadin because we have to use the atupadhayaha. Atupadhayaha will do the upada dirgha. I have not put all the steps in detail, but we have, so basically what we have here, manju plus plus dhatu vad plus nini. In nini we're going to have the anubandha lopa chutu upapade. So this, sorry, upadesha jananasika it, upadesha jananasika it. So ikara is in it, becomes in, and then that does the upada dirgha for vad becomes vad, becomes vadin. So manju vadin. One more time, pratyaya is nini, then chutu, nakara is sanya, upadesha jananasika it, so that becomes in, then atupadhayaha becomes vadin, manju vadin. Of course, in the meanwhile, the entire samudaya gets a pratipadika sanya by krutya samasascha, and the pratyaya takes look by supo dhatu pratipadika yoho. Finally, to put in the feminine, we have to put runnebhyo neep. So nothing can be used in the feminine. Without it being inspected by the adhikara of striyam. Always remember that. Nothing can be used in the feminine in this language before it has to be inspected by the adhikara of striyam. And the runnebhyo neep. Nakarantam pratipadikam, if you have, takes the neep pratyaya. Kullashakotadite halantyam ikaraha. So we had manju vadin, it became manju vadini. This is the feminine. Okay? So manju vadini. So one who habitually speaks delightfully. So speaks delightful things. So delightful words, or wonderful, or pleasing. Speaks pleasing words. Manjuvadini. So coming back, so I think that's the main thing of the shloka here. So Lakshmanaha tam shutva, having heard her, prathamam kokila manjuvadini. Now here also same thing. Here kokila, we got manjuvadini, we got. So now we have to do the same thing. Just we had here that Shiva vad Ghoraswanam Tadvat is, in fact, is given here. I'm sorry, he's given here Kokila vat. So he's given there Kokila vat Manjuvadini. So back to back, Kalidasa uses sutram Upamanani Samanya Vachanaihi. So here again the same thing. So she is one who speaks delightful or pleasing tones habitually, like a kokila, like a cuckoo. So kokilavat, this is also a samasa like the meghashyamaha. So kokilavat megha ivashyamaha, meghavachyamaha, kokilavat manjuvadinim. So this is an adjectival term, manjuvadin in feminine. So we do have a upamanam as a purapadam. We have the samana dharmaha. The samanya dharmaha is there, manjuvadinim. So this is a upamanani samanya vachanaihi. So kokilavat manjuvadini. So after we form this upapada samasaha, we have to then make a karmadharya samasaha by going into 2155 upamanani samanya vachanaihi. So in both these compounds here, Kalidasa is used back to back. The karmadharya compound, as upamanam as purapadam, and the samanya dharma as the uttarapadam. Only thing is that in this case, manjuvadini was the upapada samasaha, while the ghorasvana is a bahuvri samasaha. That's the only difference. Otherwise, both are karmadharya compound after that. Now, bubudhe, dhatu is buddha, Here he makes a comment. First of all, he makes a comment before that. Tasyaha swanam shutva ityartha. Now in English we say, I heard him. But what we really mean is that I heard his voice, I heard his words, I heard his speech. In English is understood. Same thing here also. Tam shutva, having heard her. Now you cannot really hear the person. You hear what the person has to say, but it's understood, lakshanikam. So that's what Malinatha, but Malinatha, he clarifies that tasyaha swanam shutva ityartaha. Not having heard her, but having heard her voice, basically. Heard her sound. The English same word for swana is sound in English, right? Swana is sound. Swan is to sound. Tasyaha swanam shutva ityartaha. And he gives an example for that also. It's kind of obvious here. Having heard her means having heard her sound. It says susvanaha shankaha shuyate itivat prayogaha. So this is prayoga because these are the words, these are the kinds of usages which are well accepted in the language. It's a shishta prayoga, which is susvanaha shankaha shruyate. We can the conch is heard, which has a nice sound. The nice sounding conch is being heard. So what we really mean is that the sound of the conch is being heard, not the conch itself. So here we have the conch is shankaha shruyate. So shankasya swanaha shruyate ityartaha. We cannot actually hear the conch, we only hear the sound of the conch. That's understood. But this usage is accepted in the language to say that tam shutva means tasyaha swanam shutva ityartaha. See, as long as we can understand what the commentator is saying, that's the main purpose of this class. The purpose of this class is to understand what is the commentator trying to say. It may be obvious to you. You may not even accept what he has to say, but understand what is the commentator trying to say. What he's telling you is that having heard her means having heard her voice, and he gives an example which is well accepted in the world, which is susvanaha shankaha shruyate itivat prayogaha. This is a usage like the conch, the wonderful, the nice sounding conch is being heard. Means the sound of the conch is being heard. Shankasya svana shruyate ityartaha. Susvana, of course, is a Bahuri compound. Su is shobhanaha, svanaha, yasyasaha. So this is one which is nice sounding conch. And then he says, Vikruta is Mayavini. Mayavini ityartaha. In fact, I'm sorry, I didn't put this in document. I forgot to put this in document. Okay, I'll give you a sutram right now though. I forgot. This is the adhikara of in the Tadhitaranya, in the great force of Tadhitas, we have adhikara of Matup. Tadasyasmiliti Matup. And you'll be surprised, as I mentioned in previous classes, how many of these pratyayas which you will not even suspect are really in the sense of Matup. So Matup is the default, but then there are many others in that, and one of them is this pratyaya vini. Asmaya medha sajo vinihi. I think let me, if you can find a sutram. There must be a sutram. There is a sutram here, which is the Asmaya medha sajo vinihi. Let me see if I can find it here. And in that sutram, Panini mentions the word Maya. There must be a sutram. There is a sutram here. I know that. Okay, let me search for it. I think sutram is Asmaya Medha Sajo Vinihi. Let's see. Maya. Okay, let's see. If I search for Maya, I should find it. Of course, she's Maya. You cannot find her easily. She's Maya, right? So, Maya. Asmaya Medha Sajo Vinihi. Here it is. 5 to 121. Asmaya Medha Sajo Vinihi. Like tapaswin, yashaswin, So this any word if you have pratipadikam ending, remember that we are in the adhikara of nya pratipadikat. Also in the adhikara of tadhitaha. Pratipadikam ending in as, like tapas, yashas, these like that. So tapaswin, yashaswin, etc. And the words maya, medha, and sraj, like sragvin, sragvi is one who has a garland. So medhavi, one who has intelligent medhavi, medhavini in feminine. So mayavi. So here, so maya asyaha astiti mayavini. So this was Sutram is 52121. I forgot to put in document, I'll put it now. So Mayavini. This Mayavini, it is the Pratyaya Vini. Of course, in the Vini, the ending Ikar is an It by Upadeshajana Nasika It. And so Mayavini. And so we have 52121. Asmaya Medha Sajo Vini. And then after that, of course, same Sutram again is the Runnebhyo Nip. Because Maya Vin we create, and then we get Runnebhyo Nip. So we have to get, so Maya Vini is by Sutram Asmaya Medha Sajo Vini. Whenever Panini mentions a Pratipadika, any term, specifically in a Sutram, so remember that term. The reason why Panini does that, there is a good reason why Panini has to mention a specific word or a term in a Sutram, because he is not able to fit in a general class that word. There's something special about that word, about the dhatu, about the pratyaya. Something very special is about that. So always pay attention to a specific term which Panini mentions in the Sutra. So when Panini mentions, Maya, Medha and Sraj, then you have to remember those terms. So something special about them is there. You get the words Mayavin, Mayavini feminine, Mayavini, and it'll be Mayavi in masculine. So Mayavi Ishvaraha, one who has Maya, Mayavi. So Maya is, of course, different meanings. Maya is like, of course, the Ishvara Maya. And Maya can also be like, these mystic powers. So this Mayavini. And then Medhavi, Medhavini, and Sragvi, Sragvini. These three words. And then any project ending in the As, like Tapasvi, Yashasvi, etc. So Mayavini. And then that's in the commentary, of course. Mayavini iti bubudhe. So Vikrutam is transformed. Vikru, like Vyakaranam, right? Vyakru is Vyakaranam. But Vikru is to transform, to deform. Vikrutam is deformed, means change, also to change. Like Gana Vikaranaha, like the Pratyaya, Shab, etc. These are they're called Gana Vikaranaha. It changes the form according to the Gana. So Vikaranam means changing, transforming. So realize that she had transformed. Means that Mayavini ti bubudhe, means she must be a Mayavini, that she can change her form. So realize that she is one who has changed her form, means she can change her form. So she is a Mayavini ti bubudhe. Now he says, he makes one comment, say, Bubudhe Buddhavan, Kartari Lat. See, the commentator will not make any superfluous comment. It will not be redundant. It will not be redundant. It will not be Gatartham. Gatartham means, Gataha Arthaha Yasya Tad Vachanam. Gatartham means it's redundant, it's useless. There's no use for that. But the commentator will not do that. He will not waste any words. So when he says Kartari Lit, I'm sorry. Why does he say Kartari Lit? Let's look at the derivation of Bubudhe. Bubudhe here is, this dhatu is Buddha Avagamane. This is in the Bhvadi Ganaha, also in the Divadi Ganaha. This is the Divadi Gana dhatu. Divadi Gana is Atmanipadam. We say that Buddha plus Lit by Parokshe Lit. Anubandhalope Buddha plus La by Upadeshajana Nasika It Halantyam. These are, Samanya Karyani, simple steps. Then by Tiptajji, because this is dhatu is Atmanepadi, is a Pratyata. Vivaksha Pratama Ekavachanam. Pratham Purusha. So Pratham Purusha Ekavachanam. So you get the Pratyata. And then because Anudatta Gnita Atmanepadam, this is Anudatta it has. So and then we get litas tajayor eshirech. The ta pratyaya gets the esh adesha. Tajayor esh and irech. So in these lit adesha ta and lit adesha jha respectively get the adesha of esh and irech. Yeah, except in the Bhagavad Gita we do not have a lit atmanipad pragaha. So that is why we cannot practice Sutram. I cannot give a Gita example over here. Because this Sutram, there is no, to the best of my knowledge, there is no Atmanipadam lit prayoga in Gita. So, litas tajayore shirech, so ta becomes A, and normally should have had you should have had the sutram alontyasya. But it has the talavya shaka as an it. So anekachis sarvasya. Anekachis. Anytime you do an adesha, always think of this sutra chatushtayam. Sutra chatushtayam, which is a set of 4 rules. I say this all the time. Is 1152 alontyasya, 1153, which is nitya, 1154 adef parasya, and then 1155 anekachis. This is the sutra chatushtayam. Sutra chatushtayam. That is what we have here. So here alontyasya should have come. So only the ending akara of ta would have become a, but instead of that we get the anekachis sarvasya, because the adesha is esh. Talavesha is a nit. So it becomes the sarva adesha becomes buddh a. And then in the meanwhile, because litidha toranabhyasasya buddha a haladisheshaha buddhe. Just not one more thing, because this pratyaya a is a apit lit, and there is no sanyoga prior to it. By 125 asanyoga litkita. In a few weeks from now, the daily examples we should be starting lit lakaraha. Lit prakriya will start. So that time you will have these examples more than daily examples. But for the time being, asanyoga litkita. So because our favorite sutram, which is sarvadhatakam apit, following that is sutram asanyoga litkita. Asanyoga litkita. So apit litkit syat. So if there's a lit which is apit and there's no sanyoga prior to it, the lit pratyaya becomes kit. And then kiniticha stops the guna adesha, which would have taken place by puganta laghupatasya cha. So we would have, so 115 stops the puganta laghupatasya cha. Otherwise the buddha should become bodha. But this apit lit pratyaya became kit, asanyoga lit kit, and then 115, so babudhe. Now this could have, this is kartari or karmani is the question. Right now we did kartari, so we straightforward, we got the form. Now had this been karmani, would there have been any difference? And the answer is no, because of the fact that our friend, which is sarvadhatuke yak, the pratyaya yak only comes sarvadhatuke. The pratyaya yak, which we use happily when we do, like, shruyate, kriyate, labhyate, all these places, it's only 3167, which is sarvadhatuke yak. That is bhavakarmano, which is good, but only sarvadhatuke yak. Because of litcha sutram litcha, which is 34115, lit adesha tipadeha, they get the sanya of ardhadhatukam, even though they are tiptasji, because normally ting shit sarvadhatukam. But litcha says that the same tiptasji, when they come in place of lit, they get sanya of ardhadhatukam. So now we cannot expect to find this our friend sarvadhatuke yak. So that karmani pravaga, that lingam, the sign of karmani pravaga is not available to us when the pratyaya has a sanya of, when the following pratyaya has sanya of ardhatukam. So this could have been the same form. The same form would you have got had this been a karmani pravaga. So now we do not know this is kartari or karmani. So that is why Balinatha clarifies that, so I'll put that, same form in the passive, so same form karmani, because 3167 cannot apply because of 34115, litcha sutram, sanya of ardhadhatukam, so karmani cannot apply. So that is why Balinatha says that kartari lit. Otherwise there is no need to say kartari lit. If it is the same form as karmani, tabhyeva sandhya jayeta. The sandhya only comes, is karmani is the same pravaga, right? So yadi bhinnam rupam asti chet spashtikaranam napekshate. If you have a different form, there is no need for spashtikaranam. But here says kartari lit, because you look at the form of buddhavan. He gives buddhavan, it's a kartari pravaga, buddhavan. You realized. Okay. So let us see what the translation says. Let's try to match up. Let's see. Vain, are you there, Vain? Somebody is there. Is it Vain or Kalpesh? Kalpesh or Vain? Somebody is there. Okay. Probably Kalpesh might be there. Okay. Let's bring Nagarajji, our. How are you, sir? Namaskar. Namaskar. Okay. Okay. Lakshmanaha is. Lakshmanaha. First.
Prathamam.
Prathamam. That's the adverb. Earlier or first. Hearing, having heard is.
Shutva.
Shutva. Her speech is actually tam only.
Tam.
Because he has taken the commentary.
Yeah.
Because tam is tasyaha
Tasyasunam.
Yeah, it's like in English we say having heard him, Means having heard his voice. So this speech is not in the sloka. This is lakshanikam. The tam is being translated as her speech. So as sweet as that of a cuckoo.
Kokila Manjuvadinim.
So Manjuvadinim is one who speaks pleasant tones or makes pleasant sound. And then Kokila Iva. We saw the compound which is the Upamanani Samanya. So Karmadharya compound, special Karmadharya compound. Upamanam is given here. So as sweet as that of a cuckoo. And there's no and I think. It's okay. Then afterwards
Paschat
Avyayam. Terribly.
Ghorasvanam.
Yes. So Shiva Ghora. So terribly is Ghora. Howling is that Swana. Like a jackal is that Shiva. Like a female jackal. So Shiva Vat, Shiva Iva. Ghoraha, Swanaha, Yasyaha Sa. So one with a terrible sound like a female jackal. Same kind of construct here, except Ghora Swana is a Bahubri compound. After that, but the same thing. This is a Karmadharya compound after that. Upamanani Samanya. Any Pani Sutram repeated many times. Upamanani Samanya Vachanaihi. Okay. New. Realized.
Bubudhe.
That's the Tinganta Padam. Bubudhe. And this Shutva was a clause because Samana Karta Lakshmanaha. Having heard her, this he realized. Bubudhe. Having heard, knew her from. Okay, this is Tam. To be a deceitful spirit.
Vikrata.
This is when the commentary Maya Vini. So she has transformed. Thank you, sir. So she has transformed into something else. So she has the ability to change her character like that. So deceitful spirit is the commentary Maya Vini iti. We realized her to be as such, to be a deceitful spirit. Okay. These slokas are not very difficult, I hope, by this time. Find them kind of straight. Or maybe go into some Vyakaranam. Otherwise, to understand the meaning should not be that hard with the commentary. At this point, I think with the commentary, you should feel quite comfortable to get the meaning. And if you can read the commentary, then with practice, abhyasena, so mula patham api paditum shakyate. So you can always, once you get, that's the way to get to these texts. Practice with the commentary first. Don't try to read without the commentary. And even in the commentary, read simple things. You slowly progress like that. Because don't try to read Kalidasa like that without it. Just take simple things, Do the Padanvaya nicely first. Take some simple words, understand it from the commentary. Then eventually graduate to the form. With the commentary, you can understand the translation. And once you practice that over and over again, then you do the same thing what the commentator does. So the idea is for you to start thinking like the commentator. You should start to think like the commentator. How he does, we should do. Okay. Parnashala matha kshipram vikrishta sihi pravishya saha vairupya paunaruktyena bhishanam tamayojayat. Parnashala matha kshipram vikrishta sihi pravishya saha vairupya paunaruktyena Vairupya Paunaruktyena Bhishanan Tamayojayat. Parnashalam Atha Kshipram Vikrishta Pravishya Saha Vairupya Paunaruktyena Bhishanan Tamayojayat. Okay. Parnashalam Atha Kshipram Vikrishta Pravishya saha vairupya paunaruktyena samastam padam bhishanam tam ayojayata. So let's follow the commentary. It says atha. First thing is atha means then, now or then. Atha means then. English is very simple. It's an avyayam. Avyayam is a connecting word. Notice one thing, as many times we have noticed in the class, is that atha comes one word later you expect in English. In English you start a sentence with then, but here it doesn't happen that way. It says parnashala matha. So a lot of these connecting words, they idiomatically go one word later than in English. So parnashala matha, but in English we do padanvayaha. Atha comes on top. Saha, he always makes it very clear for us, saha lakshmanaha. Even though it's obvious, always, you see a pronoun or adjective, as a matter of fact, see which noun is behind it, for the simple reason that the pronouns or adjectives don't have their own gender number case. They're borrowing it from something else. There has to be something behind it. Saha lakshmanaha. Vikrishtasih, vigravakyam nadattam, is given the paryaya shabdaha, koshodhruta khadgaha. So vikrishta means like drawn. Krishna is to pull or to draw. Vikrishta means a nishtha pratyaya is being used. So vikrishta means drawn or pulled. This is a straightforward Bahuvari compound. He's not telling you the Vigraha Vakyam which is understood. So the Vigraha Vakyam is in our document, which is the Vikrishtaha. Sorry, there's a typo here. Vikrishtaha asi, Vikrishto asir yena saha. So by whom the sword has been drawn. So now Malinatha only gives us a clarification for that. So what does it mean drawn? Means pulled out of its casing. So Vikrishto asir yena saha. Vikrishtaha asihi yena saha. So by whom the sword has been drawn, with a drawn sword. So Vikrishtasi is a straightforward Bahuvari compound, Anekamanya Padarthe, and then you see the Nishthantam Padam is the Pura Padam. We talked in yesterday's class in detail about that. In the Bahuvari compound, every term as a general rule has a Sanya Upasajanam. So our friend which is Upasajanam Purvam, 2-2-30 will not help us, the Bahuvari compound, to make a decision about the Purnipataha. Therefore, Panini has special rules. I think he has 4 rules from 2-2-35 up to 2-2-38. These 4 rules tell us in a Bahuvari compound which one goes first. And one sutram in Nishtha. Nishtha, the same sutram Nishtha, of course, comes in 3.2. This Nishtha sutram comes twice in Ashta. You have to be careful. So this one only tells in a Bahuvari compound, Nishthantam Padam, Purvam Nipatyate. It goes first. So this is a very, you should always look at these. This could have been a Karmadharya compound, been a Bahuvari compound many times, like in Gita examples mentioned yesterday, same examples, Vigata Spruhaha, Sita Pradnyaha, all these are in Gita, many compounds where the Pura Padam, Nishthantam Padam, so Vikrishtasih. Okay, but then what does Malinatha say? He says that Vikrishtaha means Koshodhritaha. Koshodhrita means Koshadudhrita. This is Panchami Samasaha. Koshadudhritaha. So Koshad Udhritaha, which has been Udhrita means also to lift out. Ud plus Ru, so it means to lift up or take out, which has been removed from its casing. Koshaha. So this is, so Vikrishtasi means one who has drawn his sword, means he removed it from his casing. Koshodhrita Khadgaha. Sun. Sun is being thus. Sun is Prathama Ekvachanam, the Pradipadika Sat. Sat is the Shatranta Pradipadikam of Dhatu As. As. Sat means to be. Sat. So because of the Sutram, Shnasora Lopaha, the Akara of As takes a Lopaha. You will have As plus Lat become Shatri by 3-1-24. Let us Shatri Shana Chava Pratama Samadhi Karane. Shatri Shana Chava Pratama Samadhi Karane. And then what happens because of the, of course, As becomes to the Adadi Ganaha, Ajiprabhutivya Shapaha, and because this pratyaya shatru is sarvadhatukam apit, so therefore by shnasoral lopaha, the akara of us will go, we get the form sat. Sat declined in prathama ekvachanam pullinge, we get the num agamaha by suvanamastani chasam buddhau, falling form is sat. So sun is the final form. So being such, being thus, this is an adjective to Lakshmanaha. So he who was being such and such, being such means he was one who had drawn his sword. Kshipra, again same adjective being used, used adverbially, quickly. Quickly, it adverbial to dhatu pravish dhatu, wish to enter. Pravishya, so quickly, having quickly entered this Parnashala. So again, Kshipra is the same kind of usage as we have Prathamam. Same thing, Kshipra is an adjective, is quick, but Kshipram is quickly. It used in Dvitiya Ekvachanam Napumsakalinge. It's an adverb to Pravishya. The form Pravishya, you can recognize the Lyabantam. We have seen many examples, lot of examples, daily examples. So this basically what happens here is that Pratyaktva comes in here, Samalkritakayoho Purva Kale with 3, 4, 21. And then because you form a gatis, the Kugati Paradeha, you form a Gatisamasa Kugati Paradeha, and when the Samasa is formed, then you have to do the Samasinyang Purve Tvolyap. So in a compound, the Tva Pratyaya takes a Lyap Padeshaha Pravishyan, because the Tva was a Kit, Lyap also is a Kit by Sthanivat Bhavaha. So there is no Puganta Laghu Patasya because of Kiniticha. So this we have seen many times in this compound. The Tva becomes Lyab by 7137. Put in document here very quickly. I put the steps here. So Pravishya is Samakritakayo Purvakale, Pravish Tva. So Vish plus Tva, and then we have the Kugati Paradeha, Gati Samasaha, Pravish Tva, and then Samasangyang Purve. Lyap, it becomes Lyap. Of course, the Lyap Lashakvatadite Halantyam. Okay, so now what do we have? We have having entered Parnashala. Shala means like a hall or a place or a room. So you can say house, which is made out of leaves. So what kind of samasa is this Parnashala? Leaf house or leaves kind of room. Now, it looks like a Karmadharya compound, but this Parna is not really a Visheshanam. It's a noun. This is what is called as a Shakaparthiva Samasaha. When we have to fudge, have to kind of tweak this Purapadam, something is understood in between here. It's like Shakapriya Parthivaha, becomes Shakaparthivaha. So one who likes, like Sri Ramaha, Sri Yuktaha Ramaha. So a lot of these compounds, something in English we have them, the example we give all the time is like computer guy. He's a tennis guy, tennis loving person. So that's what we mean. So this tennis qualifies that person, but not directly. We have to supply something in between. So that is why we have here. So Parna Nirmita Shalam. So Parnaihi Nirmita, Parna Nirmita. First make it into Titiya Samasaha. So we make it like this. So in the document, I put it like that here. So Parna Nirmita Shala becomes Parna Shala. But the Vartikam Samadhikarana Adhikare Shaka Parthivadina Upasankhyanam Uttarapada Lopascha. So this one, what happens is that the Shaka Priya Parthiva becomes Shaka Parthivaha. Look at this number again, 2160. In the section of Karmadharya compounds, we just used 2155 back here a couple of times. So this is, the same section, Samadhi Karane. So from 2149, remember Panini starts this Samadhi Karane. We are using a Vartikam on 2160. Ktena, Nai Vishishtena, Nai Vishishtena, Nai. Ktena, Nai Vishishtena, Nai. So this one is a Vartikam and the Sutram. This sutram has form like, Kruta Krutam, like half done, Kruta Krutam, Drishta Drishtam, seen and not seen. But in that is a Vartikam, which is this Shakaparthiva Samasaha. Okay, so what we really have is that we have this Parna Nirmita Shala, become Parna Shala. Okay, so that's what we have. Now what do you say? Now he wants to divide. So again we have the samana karta doing two actions. Same samana karta we have. So samana karta. Same samana karta is in prior shlokaha. Lakshmanaha. So having entered this room made of leaves, this house made of leaves, then ayojayata. Uttarvarti kriya is ayojayata. So let's look at, if you want we can jump to that for a section. Ayojayata is yojitavan. Yojayati, dhatu yuj is to join. But yoji means to make somebody join. So he endowed her. He endowed her with something. With this compound over here. Vairupya paunaruptyena ayojayata. Tam ayojayata. So he made her joined. Means he endowed her with this property. So ayojayata is yojitavan. Now just look at the document quickly. So dhatu is yujir yoge. Just had example recently, yujir yoge. And then after that we get the pratyaya nich by hetumaticha. So anytime we want to make a causation, there is a hetu. Because in the Ashtadhyayi section called Karake, Panini defines this form, which is not the form, defines the karta, is karta, which says that swatantra karta. And then below that he says tat prayojako hetuscha. So hetu is also karta, but it let me see, is that Radha in the class? Are you in the class, Radha? Are you in the class? Somebody, is that Kalpesh or Radha? Somebody joined. Okay. Alright. Is that you, Radha, in the class? No. Okay, you are unmuted now, so if you're in, you can talk, okay? So tat prayojako hetuscha. So hetu is somebody who instigates the doer of the action. So he causes something. So hetu. And then hetumati, when a verb has to use hetumati, when it's connecting with the someone who is causing somebody else to do something, pratyaya nich has to be used with that dhatu. Hetumati cha. Hetu in the sense of causation. Hetumat. Hetumati cha. So that's what we did. Dhatu yuj was to join yunakti. But then we made, yeah, that must be Radha. Okay. Then we got the pratyaya nich hetumati cha, make the dhatu yoji. Because chutu halantyam, you get the ikara vashishyate, bhuganta laghupadasya cha gunadeshaha, sanadhyanta dhatavaha. Yoji gets the dhatu sanya, sanadhyanta dhatavaha. So we get the form yoji. And then so this is a new dhatu now, yoji. So now in our Saturday class we'll be doing this very shortly. Very shortly we'll do this section for the causatives. So it is going to come in the next, I think not next class, maybe class after that. So yoji, and then after yoji we add the lang pratyaya, anadhyatane lang, and then tiptaji, anubandha lopaha, yoji plus ti, then by itascha, the rest of it is straightforward. So itascha we get the ikar lopaha because this is a nit lakaraha. Then we get the shap pratyaya because remember shap is default for everything. So all the derived dhatus they'll only take shap, not be overruled. So yoji shapta, this is 3168. I'm sorry, 68. Kartari shap. Then after that we do the gunadeshaha by sarvadhatkarthaka yoho, then echo yava yavaha, yojai and anubandha lopaha leshikvataditi halantyam. We get yojayat. So gunadesha sarvadhatkarthaka yoho, then echo yava yavaha. After that we get anubandha lopaha leshikvataditi halantyam, and then we get the yojayat, and then finally adagamaha. Lung lang rang chodattaha. Ayojayat means he made her joined. Means he endowed her. Endowed her with something which we are going to see now what it is. So tam ayojayat. Now that tam has an adjective bhishanam tam. The terrifying. So terrifying one. Bhishanam. Is there in the class? Is that you, Radha? Are you in the class? You are unmuted now. Okay, you can talk if you're in the class. Okay, so okay, so it is bhishayati iti bhishanam. Now he says he's giving us the vigraha vakyam of bhishanam is bhishayati iti bhishanam. Nandyaditvat lyut. And then why it says lyut? It should be a typo here. It should be lyu. Kartari. That looks like a, let me just double check that from a different book. Says that this is a typo here. This is a typo. Should be lihu. This should be because lyut doesn't because Nandyadi Ganaha. What is he talking about? He's talking about Sutram, which is 3.1 I think 134, which is Nandi Gahi Pachadibhyo Liu Ninyachaha Yatha Sankham. So Dhatu Nandyadi Ganaha take Pratyaya Liu. Then the Graha etc. Dhatus take the Pratyaya Nini. And the Pachadi Ganaha Dhatus take Acha. This is all Kartari Krita by 3467 is the agent of the action. The agent of the action. So Nandayati Nandanaha. Nandayati Nandanaha. Ramanaha. Ramana Maharshi. Ramayati Ramanaha. So all is like Madhusudanaha. So these words are formed with these dhatus which take the Pratyaha Liu. If these set of these dhatus, this Nandyadi Ganaha. We look at the Vyakhyanam of 3.1.134, which is Nandi Grahi Pachadibhyo Liulinyachaha. It says Nandi Grahi Pachadayascha okay. Nandyadibhyo lihu. The liu pratyaya. So in fact here Nandyade lihu. That is the liu pratyaya. So Nandayati Nandanaha. In this Ganaha, this word Bhishana should be here somewhere. Let us see. Nandanaha, Vasanaha, Madanaha. So one who intoxicates you. Dushanaha, Sadhanaha, Vardhanaha, Shobhanaha, Rochanaha, Ramanaha, here it is. Darpanaha, Sankandanaha, Sankarshanaha, Janardanaha is also there. Yavanaha, Madhusudanaha, Vibhishanaha. So Vibhishanaha. So we don't have Bhishana, but we have Vibhishanaha. I think we can make an extension here. Is that is one who terrifies, one who causes fear. Is Bhishana. Bhishana. Now how do we get this from Bhishana exactly? So what? So one thing here is that, as I said to you, by knowing the Ashtadhyayi, you can appreciate what the Tikakara is saying. So when you see this word Nandyadi, should immediately connect in your mind is Sutram 3.1.134 Nandi Grahi Pachadibhyo Liu Ninyachaha. You should be able to connect this in your mind. When you say Nandyadi, you have to connect this in your mind that this is talking about 3.1.134. It's a very, very famous Ganaha. Nandyadi and Pachadi also. You know, Pachadi is even more famous than Nandyadi. Nandyadi Pachadi. So we have to understand is Nandi Grahi Pachadibhyo Liu Ninyachaha. So this he will not give Sutram for us. So now Nandyadi means, if you don't know what Nandyadi is, then what is he talking about? You know, we have no idea. Nandyaditvat Lyut means, what does it mean? It's further the typo here should be Lihu, Pratyaya not Lyut. Because the Pratyaya is Lyut in the feminine. If you look at the Pratyaya Neep, it could become Bhishani. It will be in the wrong form. Because we have Tiddhani, so the Pratyaya is not Lyut over here. Cannot be Lyut. Because of course the Sutram doesn't say Lyut. Because if you had Lyut, you'd have to Pratyaya Neep at the end. Tiddhani. So this is the typo, should Pratyaya Lihu. Okay, let's go. So this Nandyadi is 3.1.134. And it's in the Kartari Krut. That 3.4.67. Any Krut Pratyaya as a default is Kartari. Kartari Krut. So now let's go to our documents. Let's derive the whole form. It says that first of all, your dhatu nyabhi bhaye means to be afraid. But now you're causing fear. Same thing, hetumaticha. Somebody is causing fear. So bhishayati iti bhishana. Not bibheti iti bhishana, but bhishayati iti bhishana. Who causes fear. So we got bhi plus the nich by hetumaticha. Chutu halantim anubandha lope e. After that we get the shuk agamaha by 7.340. 7.340. And those of you know from the Wednesday class, some time back we had the Sutram 7340. Let's take a look at it. By 7340, what the Sutram says. Now just so we can back up a little bit, that in the Ashtadhyayi, we have the Sutram 72115 Achod-niti. And from that Anuvritti of Niti goes into 7.3. So these special rules, something which happens in the Pratyaya following is the Chavarga Panchama or Kavarga Panchama is an it. The Chavarga Panchama or Tavarga Panchama is an it. So Niti, Achod-niti. Niti goes down. So here we have the Sutram is but here also this now has started from here. Niti is coming, but now these within that, this is now parataha. When the patya nich, ni follows, in this case nich, what happens is that bhyo hetu bhaye shuk. Hetu bhaye shuk, 7340. This sutra has some complication. We don't have to go into all the complications, but we can take it very briefly. Bhiti etasya hetu bhaye. Hetu bhaye means she causes fear herself, not through an instrument or something like that. So not through an instrument of something, but hetu bhaye means she herself is the cause of fear, causing fear. Hetu bhaye ashuk agamo bhavati. So shuk agamo bhavati now parata. So one more time. So bhiti etasya. So this bhi dhatu nivi bhaye hetu bhaye when this causing fear on your own, not through something else. Arthe, hetu bhaye arthe, in that meaning. Shugagamo bhavati now parataha. Mundo bhishayate. Jatilo bhishayate. So somebody who has shaved his head off, he's frightening, she frightens others. Jatilo bhishayate. Somebody who has this matted hair is frightening others. And then there's, okay, I'll mention this in the class also. There's this small complication here is that, in fact, let's complete this form. Then we'll come back to the complication. Let's complete this form first. So we had this shuk agamaha. Of course, we have to use the adyantau takitau. Adyantau takitau is a kit agamaha goes at the end. So we have bhi shuk e, and then anubandha lope upadesha junanasika it, and then halantyam. We get bhi shi. Of course, when the shuk agama comes, then the ikara is no longer an ajanta mangam, so it's not a lagu either. So neither the sarvadhatuka or the dhatuka yoho nor buganta lagu apply here. Great bhishi. Now to this dhatu bhishi, which gets the sanya of dhatuhu by sanadhyanta dhatavaha, now we have the pratyaya liu. Tandyaditvat liu. In liu pratyaya lashakwatadhite anubandha lopaha yuvaranakau. When any pratyaya adesha, which my teacher always told me, pratyaya adesha always think 7.1. And pratyayas take a substitute 7.1. In the first sutram there is Prathamam sutram tasmin prakarane yuvaranakau. The u becomes ana. Yusthane anadeshaha. So becomes, and then angam gets the bhasanya by yachibham, then yasyeticha avarnantasya ivarnantasya bhasanyakasya angasya lopo bhavati tadhite ikare cha pare. So the pratyaya is no, sorry. No. It's a wrong number. Wrong sutram. Wrong sutram. This is not the sutram here. Because remember, this is always check every condition of the sutram. Because yasya iticha requires angam to have the bhasanya. The bhasanya only comes with swadishu. We are using pratyaya liu. This liu comes in dhato adhikara. It's not a swadi pratyaya. Swadis only start from 412. So first of all, the angam does not have the bhasanya. So as I was reciting the vritti, I realized that the conditions are not satisfied at all. Because the angam, this liu is not a swadi pratyaya. The angam cannot get the bhasanya. Secondly, tadhite ikare cha pare. This ana is neither of them. This is not a ikara, of course. Not tadhita either. Tadhita only starts from 4176. This was the wrong sutra I had. But the way to avoid these pitfalls, that's what also my teachers to always do. When you want to apply or when you check any sutram, immediately recite the vritti for that, or check the vritti if you don't know it, and just check like a lawyer. Make sure that every condition is satisfied. So that sutra which I was trying to use, Yachibam was wrong, because it's only Swadish, because only Swadishva Sarvanavasthani. Swadishva Sarvanavasthani. It's not a Swadi Pratyaya. Second thing is that Yassi teacher requires Angam te Bhasanya, which we never had, and Tadite Yikare Chapare, which also we didn't have. Anyway, sutram here is Niraniti. Anirada Vardhatu Kepare Ner Lopasyat. This Pratyaya is now Ana, its Ajadis cannot take an Idagavaha. Even though the Pratyasanya of Ardhadhatukam by Ardhadhatukam Sheshaha is not Valadi. Idagamaha can only come. The Pratyaya is Valadi. Val means any consonant besides Yakaraha. It's not Valadi. There's no Idagama can come here. Then so when the Nich Pratyaya is followed by a Pratyaya which is a Sanya of Ardhadhatukam, which does not have Idagamaha, then that Nich takes Lopaha. Niraniti, Nehe Aniti. So Anidadav Ardha Dhatuke Pare Ne Lopasyat. This is in the Adhikar of Ardha Dhatuke, which Parni starts from 6.4.46 Ardha Dhatuke. So we got Bhishana by the Nattam at Kupanam Yavayapi, and then after that, of course, you add the Pratyaya top on top in Striyam. So we get Bhishana by Chutu Halantyam Akasam Dirgha Bhishana. So one more time, with Dhatu. The special sutram here is 7340. 7340 is a Vishesha Niyamaha. Everything else is Samanyam. We have it in many places. So Bhyo Hetu Bhaye Shuk is what's the important sutram here. This Dhatu Bhi Nibhi Bhaye. When it is followed by the Pratyaya Nich and it's Hetu Bhaye Arthe, when somebody is causing fear on his own by himself, not to an instrument, takes the Shuk Agamaha. So we get the form Bhishi, then you have the Pratyaya Liu, because in that I think Vibhishan has mentioned there, and then do the Yuranakao, and then Niraniti, and then Nattam, and Striyam Ta Bhishana. Now, the one complication which I just kind of skipped over is not, we don't go in too many details, but the complication here is that Atra api bhi iti ikara prashleshaha. So in this bhiyaha, it is bhi. Why do we need that bhi? What do we need the e for? It's kritatvasya pung nivrityarthaha. Shuk nivrityarthaha. Okay, what he's talking about is that, and I just mentioned this number, if you won't go into details, is that there is an optional rule. There's an optional rule in 6.1 from 6.1, I think around 50-ish, which is Bibheter Hetu Bhaye. So this is 6.156, says optionally gets the Akar Adesha. It gets the Akar Adesha. So 6.156, what happens is that when the Nich Pratyaya follows and Vibhasha optionally, so Hetur, so Swatantrasya Prayojakaha, so Tato Yad Bhayam, so one who causes fear himself, says Tatra Vartamanasya Nibhibhaye Ityasya Dhatoho Nauparataha Vibhasha Akaradesha Bhavati, Akaradesha Bhavati. So it optionally takes the Adesha of Akar alone test, it becomes Bha. When that Bha happens, then the Shuk will not come. Become Bha Payati. So if 6.156, if you make the optional Akar Adesha, make it Bha, then the Shuk will not come. Then we cannot use 7340 after that, because he says it is BE is taken in the sutra. In the sutra we take it as BE, means Ikarantrasya, means Krutatvasya Shuk Nivrityatraha. Anyway, so if you want to do some homework, look at 6.156, you get the Vikalpena Akaradeshaha. Tatkrute, when that is done, Shukna Bhavati. So when we do the Akar Adeshaha, we have to apply 7336. Arti ri nui kshmayata puk. The puk Adeshaha. So if you do the Atvam, By 6156, then there will be no shuk agamaha, there will be a puk agamaha. So if you look at the example on 6156, it will become bhapayati. So no. The one more complication here. I'm sorry. Because bhapayate and bhishayate. Where we get atmanepadam? Because the Sutram 1338 requires atmapadam. Atmanepadam, I'm sorry, atmanepadam. So there are this hetu bhaye has these 2 or 3 rules for this dhatu bhi. When someone causes fear, the sutras call fear for us, right? So these are, so the sutrani is bhishani sutrani. So bhishayante asman. So 13 let's see. Okay, there should be a sutram here. The sutram here is Bhismayor hetu bhaye. Bhismayor hetu bhaye. Bhismayor hetu bhaye. Bhismayor hetu bhaye. Where is that? Should be here somewhere. Okay, it's the wrong number, I guess. Bhismayor hetu bhaye. Bhismayor hetu bhaye. Yeah, it's 1368. So bhismayor hetu bhaye. So again, it's dhatu bhi. Now, when this niche follows the causative form, take atmanepadam. So we get 2 forms. We get bhapayate, bhishayate. This is the form which is taken when the Sutram 6156 optional does not apply. Then we get this form. So bhishana. So that's what he says here. Yeah, this hetu bhaye has these complications with dhatu bhi. When niche follows, in case the atam optionally becomes bhapi or bhishi. In both cases, we're going to get the Sutram bhisma or hetu bhaye. We get atmanepadam. But anyway, right now we don't worry about atmanepadam. We're not talking about tingantam padam, making a kridantam padam here. So what he says in the commentary is that bhishay. How do we get bhishayati? Should be bhishayate. Bhishanam. Chintaniyamidam. I'm not sure about this one. I just told you sutram, which is 1368, bhisma or hetu bhaye. So the sutram, it should be bhishayate, not bhishayati. So bhisma or hetu bhaye. Unless it's hetu, we will not get the shuk agama either. So if you have the form bhishaya, it has to be really atmanepadam. See 1368. So he says that bhishayate. Okay. So this is, if you know enough vyakaranam, sometimes you can even catch, I don't know if this is an error or what has happened here, but this bhishayati here looks to me should be bhishayate. Should be bhishayate. I'll put a document so you think about this one. I do not know why in the commentary. So in the commentary, it looks like this form bhishayati should be bhishayate, maybe bhishayate. So let's put a question mark here. I'm not sure, but looking at this sutram, which is the bhismayor hetu bhaye. See, the shukagama only came hetu bhaye. So if the form is bhishayate, bhishaya, that means shukagama has come in. Obviously, it's spashtam shruyate. You can see the shukagama is being heard over there. So then, if it's hetu bhaye, it has to be atmanepadam. I don't know why it says bhishayate. Okay, we'll think about this one. If I can think of a reason why in the commentary it should be bhishayate, it seems to me, not bhishayati. Okay, anyway, so we can make it bhishayata iti bhishanam. Nanjaditvat liu. This is another typo here. Liho kartari. So you should be able to check all these things. If you know vyakaranam, as I said to you, they have to come and satisfy you. Because you know vyakaranam now. They cannot just tell you something which is not correct. You can check from the Ashtadhyayi what they are saying. So these things you can now kind of examine them, inspect them, make sure everything is correct. So there seems to be a small problem here. I think should be bhishayate. Second thing is that This lut is a typo, should be liho. Okay. Then tam, again he nicely gives the tam rakshasim. So tam should be in bold, I think, over here. Tam rakshasim. Always he gives us the noun behind the pronoun, rakshasim. Every time he does it, even though it's obvious. It's obvious, isn't it, over here? Who else can it be? Tam rakshasim shurpanakam. It is pashtam. It is obvious, but still he gives. Tathapi diyate. Now he gives this one vairupya paunaruktena. Okay, let's go step by step here. So this is taking, he's taking shashti samasaha. Vairupyasya paunaruktena. Dvaigunyam lakshanayatena. Okay, so he says that, okay, let's go to this form vairupya. So first we will derive the form vairupya on its own. So first we get the form virupaha. Vigatam rupam. Yes, so I can say, no, you can say vikrutam. You can say vikrutam rupam yasya saha. Virupaha. We saw in yesterday's class, we saw as vartikam in great detail. Vikrutam rupam is the one whose form is deformed. Whose form is deformed. In yesterday's class, we saw as vartikam, maybe I can copy it down here, which is the vartikam in yesterday's class. We saw the vartikam dhatujasya uttarapadalopascha vaktavyaha. So the bahuri, like vidhava, you know. So vigataha dhavaha yasyaha sa. So here, in yesterday's class, we had the vartikam, actually I think in the prior week's class. We had the Vatikam, which was over here. Here, Pradibhyaha Dhatujasya Vachova Chotrapada Lopaha. Urapadantargatasya Uttarpadasya Dhatujasya Lopo Vachaha. So like Vidhava, etc. These words. So when we can take this Pradi, and we can drop the participle and make a Bahuri compound out of it like that. So this is the Vatikam. Vartikam on 2. I mean, we can form the Bahuri Samasava Sutram itself. We can make it so Vikrita Rupa, but to get the Uttarapada Lopaha, so Pura Padasya Uttarapada Lopaha, we have to get the Vartikam. So Vartikam is here, which is that Pura Padantargatasya Uttarapadasya Dhatujasya Lopavachyaha. Okay, Vikritam Rupam Yasya Saha Virupaha. Then Virupasya Bhava Vairupyam. Vipatya Shan is added. This is also a typo here. It's a typo here. Okay. Vipatya Shan. Okay. So 511. Vikatasya Bhava. Even in Tadita Aranyam. I call it Tadita Aranyam. It is a jungle of Taditas. You can easily be lost. In that we have a nice little space over there called Tasya Bhavas Tvatalau. Remember these two adhikaras, by the way. In the end of 5.1, Tasya Bhavas Tvatalau. End of 5.2, we already saw today, adhikara of Matup comes over there. Matup adhikara comes there with Tadasya Asti Asminiti Matup. So these are two nice sections in Taditas. End of 5.1, Tasya Bhavaha Tvatalau. Tasya Bhavas Tvatalau. End of 5.2, Matupadhikaraha. So now in that Tasya Bhava Adhikaraha, we have this sutram which says that Varna Dridhadibhyashyancha. Varna means physical like a color. Dridhadiganaha. Also if you have the Patyashyancha. Next sutram says Gunavachana Brahmanadibhya Karmanicha. Without going too many details, this Brahmanadiganaha is Akriti Ganaha. Akriti Ganaha. So whenever you have the Pratyashay in Tasya Bhavarthe, in the Tasya Bhavaha, and if it's not in the Dridhadi Ganaha, then we can always, if it's a Shishta Prayagaha, we can always put the Brahmanadi Ganaha as Akriti Ganaha. So we can, so this Pratyashay can be used, sense of Tasya Bhavaha, means thatness, the property of that. So Virupasya Bhavaha Vairupyam. Virupa Prasnyas Pratyashay. And then we get the Shaf Pratyasya, the Shakara is gone, then we get Halantyam, then we get the Samudaya gets the Pratipadika Sanya, by Kritita Samasascha, Tadita Pratyaya, and Supo Dhatu Pradipikayoho. We get the form Vai, and in the meanwhile, we get the Adivriddhi. Taditeshvacham Adeha. Taditeshvacham Adeha. Get 72117. The Adi Ashtakes, but even the Pratyaya has this Chavarga Panchama, or Tavarga Panchama as in it, it's Tadita Sanyakaha. So we get, and then finally here we can use Yasyaticha, because Angvash the Bhasanya, because of Yachibham. Any Tadita Pratyaya is also Swadi Pratyaya, so by Swadishva Sarvanamasthane, Yachibham, and then Yasyaticha. So Ivarnantasya, Avarnantasya, Bhasanyakasya Silapavati, Tadite Ikaresha Pareho, Vairupyam. Vairupyam is deformity. Deformity. Punarukti is a compound, so basically repeated utterance. I think we can just use like what is called is miscellaneous compound, Sahasupa. Because punar is here an adverbial to ukti. So repeated utterance. Punar is an avyayam. Avyayam. So ukti means dhatu vach pratyak. Tin ukti means utterance. And punar means like again utterance. Utterance again. So this punar looks to me like an adverb to the ukti, to dhatu vach. It is saying again, repetition, repeating. So I've taken it here as a sahasupa samasa because Panini doesn't have this adverbial compound in a special category. So therefore, what we do is that we just take the top adhikaraha, which we have starting from 214 sahasupa, and we make it into kevala samasaha or sahasupa samasaha, make it into a compound which doesn't have any special name. So we invoke this as a Vidhi Sutram saying that this sup can compound with a sup in general without any special category. So that's what is this called the miscellaneous category. It's called sahasupa or kevala samasaha, punaruktihi. Then again same thing, punarukter bhava paunarukyam, same steps. So punaruktihi, because this is punarukti ending in ikaraha, this was ending in akara, but same yasyaticha, this applies in the case of ivarnantamangam or avarnantamangam. So punarukter bhava paunarukyam. So punarukti is repeated utterance. Punarukyam is repetition. Repetition. So punarukti is repeated utterance, and the state of that or the property of that is repetition. Punarukter bhavaha paunarukyam. Paunarukyam. Now once we look at that, then we can look at what Malinatha says. He says that Vairupyasya paunarukyam dvai gunyam lakshanaya tena. So this is, he endowed with the property of repetition of ugliness. He endowed her with the property endowed with the repetition of ugliness. Means he gives a, here also he will not give us the Vigravakyam. I said to you many times, if you Shashti Samasaha, so Prayana Vigravakyam na diyate, Spashtatvat. Most of the time Vigravakyam not given. But why do you give Vigravakyam here? It's also we've seen this many times before, because he wants to make a commentary on the Paunarukyam. Repetition means what? Dvai gunyam. Dvigunasya bhava dvai gunyam. Doubling of ugliness. Lakshanaya. So he endowed with the character of a doubling of ugliness. And in tena, so tena. Repetition means dvai gunyam lakshanaya. So he endowed with this quality of doubling of ugliness, and then that's what he did. So one more time. So virupasya bhava vairupyam. So means virupa has deformed or grotesque or ugly. Vairupyam is ugliness. Paunarukyam means punarukter bhava paunarukyam, repetition. And so it's as if Lakshmanaha made her join, means endowed her with this double property of ugliness, double ugliness. Dvai gunyam. Then tena. Lakshana means this repetition means doubling. Lakshanaya, this means stands for that. Tena ayojayat yojitavan. Then he gives a summary of it in his own words. Svabhavataha eva vikrutam. So she was naturally she was ugly. She was grotesque. Svabhavataha eva vikrutam. Tam shurpanakam. Karnadi chedena. By cutting her ears, etc. पुनः अतिविकृताम करोदित्यर्थः. She was naturally she was grotesque, ugly, and then by cutting off her ears, etc., he made her very ugly. Is what it means. Very ugly. So this is the kavyam. So he endowed her with the property of repetition of ugliness. So akarot means he made her ativikritam, very ugly. Again made her very ugly, even though she was already ugly by nature. By cutting off her ears, etc., he made doubly ugly. Okay. Let us get our anuvadakaraha. Okay. Let's just put this one here. Okay. Ready, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay. How about then?
Atha.
Atha, I said this here. He.
Saha Lakshmana.
Saha Lakshmana. With a drawn sword.
Vikrushtasihi.
Vikrushtasi. So Vikrushtasir yena saha. One has drawn his sword. Immediately.
Kshipram.
Kshipram, correct. Comes in Gita, by the way. Kshipram bhavati dharmatma shashvat chantin nigacchati. Kshipram bhavati dharmatma. So one who worships me, even though he had many problems before, if he worships me, he quickly becomes a dharmatma. Chapter 9. So I think here it is. Apiche sudurachara, somebody who has very bad conduct. Apiche sudurachara. Bhajate mamananja bhak, sadhureva samantavya, samyak vyavasito hisaha. See, somebody who is very bad conduct, if he worships me, he is to be thought of as a sadhu, because he has correctly resolved. Then kshipram bhavati dharmatma. Kshipram dharmatma bhavati. Kshipram, quickly he becomes dharmatma. Okay, comes in Gita. Okay, so immediately is kshipram. Having entered is
Pravishya.
Having entered. Samanakarta doing two actions. Having entered, he did the next action. The leaf hut.
Parnashalam.
Parnanirmita shalam. And attached, I think and is understood. Attached. Ayojayat. Made her, endowed her, made her joined. Caused her to be joined, attached. To her is
Tam.
A terrible form, a repetition.
Vairupya.
No. Terrible form, I think is Bhishana.
Bhishana. I'm sorry, Bhishana.
So around to her who was already scary, a repetition of hideousness.
Paunarukyena.
So Vairupya Paunarukyena. So repetition is a Paunarukyam. So and then hideousness is Vairupyam. So it says Virupasya Vairupyasya Paunarukyena. So endowed to her who was terrible, Bhishanam. The repetition is Paunarukyena. Vairupyasya Paunarukyena of hideousness. Thank you, sir. So that is the shloka. We have about half an hour left. Okay, let's try this one. Sa vakra nakha dharinya venu karkasya padvaya ankushakaraya angulya tavatarjayad dambare sa vakra nakha dharinya venu karkasya padvaya ankushakaraya angulya tavatarjaya dambare ankushakaraya angulya tavatarjaya dambare. So sa vakra nakhadharinya venu karkasha parvaya ankushakaraya angulya tau atarjayat. This is echoyavayavaha. Tau atarjayat ambare. So sa is pratama ekvachanam padipadikam tat stilinge. Now this angulya is the noun over here. Anguli. Angulya titya ekvachanam. So with her finger. Angulya has these trini visheshanani has three adjectives. Vakra Nakhadharinya, Venu Karkasha Parvaya, and Ankushakaraya. So these three adjectives to Angulya. So now, as I said, if you want to keep it simple, you can just take the simple sentence, is Sa Shurpanakha, Tau Rama Lakshmanau, Atarjayat. He threatened them both now. So she, Shurpanakha, Atarjayat. Tarjaya is to bhartsane, is to terrorize. In English, Tarjayat is to terrorize, to threaten. So she threatened the two of them, Rama Lakshmana, and with her finger, Angulya, and that Anguli has three adjectives. And Ambare Sthita, so she jumped to the sky. Ambare means in this case, Vyomni, in the sky. So stationed in the sky. She threatened the two of them, using her finger. Which was these three things? That's a simple sentence. These three things actually not that difficult here. Vakra Nakha, Vakratunda Mahakaya, right? So Vakra is crooked. Crooked. So Vakra Nakha means crooked nails. Now Vakra Nakha Dharini, we had a similar form right here. We had one here. This is Manjuvadini. Similarly here, Vakra Nakha Dharini, which is habitually or naturally had this. This is qualifying the Anguli. So with a finger which was bearing these crooked nails. Okay. Then Venu Karkasha Parvaya is also very similar to this compound we had over here. This is the Shiva Ghoraswana which we had. Same thing here. So Karkasha Parvaya, okay, let's go to the document for a second. It means that this finger which had these like you can see harsh nodes, these ugly nodes, like the joints, these ugly joints. Karkasha means like not pleasant, unpleasant. Joints like that of a Venu, like a cane. So the joints of her finger were like those of a looked like a cane because of its these ugly joints. So I think we can form the same way. What we'll do is that we'll first form the compound. Okay, let's finish this one first. Okay, let's go through this one. Karkashani Parvani Yasyaha Sa Karkasha Parva. So it is something which has the Parvan is like a connection or a joint or a node. It has other meanings also, like a section maybe, like you can say in the Mahabharata, maybe a Bhishma Parva, this Parva, it's like sections of a book. So Parva has a different variety, but it means a node or a joint or a section. So Karkashani Parvani Yasyaha Sa. So that it is something which has a joints or sections which are so Karkasha means, let me see what Apteji says for Karkasha. Karkasha means like soft of the mrudu, like hard. You can see also means hard joints. Hard joints, I think that could also be meaning of Karkasha. Let's see what Karkasha, we can use a good meaning from Apte. Karkasha. So Karkasha, hard or rough, okay, rough or hard, as opposite to Komala. Yes, Komala Mrudu, correct. So these are very rough or hard joints, or harsh, cruel, that's point. I think this first one, hard or rough joints. And then Karkasha Parva we make. So the Prajapati, this is only one complication here. In the Sri Pratyaya, we can use a Pratyaya Dap. Normally Pratyaya is Stap, as we know, Ajadita Stap. The Prajapati is Karkasha Parvan Pratipadikam. But the Prajapati is Parvan. Parvan is Pratipadikam. So this is Napunsakalinga Pratipadikam Parvan. So what we have is Karkasha Parvan. So Karkashani Parvani Yasyaha Sa. We get the Karkasha Parvan we get. Now what do we have in the shloka? We have Karkasha Parvaya. So this is declined like Sita or like Rama. This is not like Is that you in the class, Radha? Is that you trying to come in the class? Oh. Or is it Vain or Kalpesh? Somebody's there. Oh.
Yeah, hi, Satish, this is Van. I just,
Oh, it's Vain. You came in before the organizer, or was it you who came to the organizer before?
I'm having a super major computer problem today.
Okay, all right,
So,
okay. Because
yeah,
I
I'm
thought it was
sorry.
because I thought Radha might log in to record the class. I thought she was trying, because this is the first time she was trying to log in.
Yeah, I
It's
came
okay.
in, but I had static problems, so I went out,
Okay.
I came back. So a lot of problems today.
I think one time you came in as on the other, as on the other side as an organizer.
Yeah,
Maybe she
I am
presented.
trying different things somehow to get rid of it, but I just can't
Okay.
hear you.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Now I can hear. It's a different computer, so I can hear you now.
Ah, okay, good. Okay,
So
good.
my
I thought it
computer
was-
must be the problem. Yeah.
Okay, this is Karkasha.
Sorry.
So no problem. I was wondering if she was because
Yeah.
okay. So where was I? Yeah. So this Venu Karkasha Parvaya, this is declined like Rama Shabda or like Sita Lata Shabda. This is not declined like Venu Karkasha Parvan. You have to somehow get the Pratipadikam to Venu Karkasha Parva. Okay. So we have right now when we made the compound at first, we got Karkasha Parvan only we got. Karkashani Parvani Yasyaha Sa Karkasha Parvan. Now what happens is that this three, as I told you many times, nothing can be used in a feminine unless inspected by the sutram is adhikaraha striyam. And in that there are complicated rules, but not to go into all complications. But there is this sutram, it says dab ubhabhyam anyatarasya. Anuvritti is coming of manaha and ano bahuvrihehe. So simply speaking, bahuvri compound ending in an is what we have. We have karkasha parvan ending in an. That will take the pratyaha dab optionally. So dab ubhabyam is ending in mananta and bahuvri ending in an. We can ignore the man right now. We don't have man right now. We have bahuvri compound ending in an. Can take the pratyaya dab optionally. So what we have is that because we have karkasha parvan, we need to get to karkasha parva. We will not get the form karkasha parvaya unless we get the pratipadikam karkasha parva. So so here we have da pratyaya bhavati ubhabhya means mannantat pratipadika annantat cha bahuvrihe is what we have. Anyatarasya optionally gets dap. So in this case we have the dap because we need, as I said, we need to get the pratipadikam karkasha parva. So what we do is that we add the pratyaya dap. So now look at, because normally Pani has pratyaya tap, ajadyata tap here. Only for adantam angam, adantam pratipadikam with pratyaya tap. Now why did you put the pratyaya dap over here now? Why not tap? Because of the fact that of course anubandha lope chutu halantyam becomes a, but then because of this Sutram 6, the angam gets the bhasanya. Remember, all the sipatyaha as well as tadhitaha, they're all in the section of swadi. Swadi is not only supratyaha. Sup only 412. But after that 412, we have this entire section of striyam coming and also coming the section of tadhitaha. So all of these are the section of swadi. Why is that important? Of course, because of 141718, which is swadish vasaramasthani yachibham. You need to get the bhasanya. It should be swadi pratyaha. So we get the, I mean, Vain is come just in time because we get the bhasanya, which is 1418. We get the bhasanya 1418, and then after that we use the sutram which says tehe. Yutibhasya ter lopaha. Yutibhasya ter lopaha. Pratyaya is a dit. And the angam has bhasanya. This can be, you can expand your portfolio, Vain. You add one more item to your portfolio. You already have yachibham yasyeti cha. Add one more to that, which is tehe. Tehe says ti sanyakasya ditibhasya ter lopaha. Bhattoji says ditibhasya. See, beautifully gives the vritti, but see, Bhattoji's greatness is the vrittis are so really so, what's the right word? Perfect, I should say. Ditibhasya ter lopaha. Very simple, straightforward, to the point. Ditibhasya ter lopaha. Pratyaya diti pratyaya parataha. Bhasanyakasya angasya lopa bhavati. Remember, we are in the adhikar of Angasya right now. Angasya goes 6-4 and the fourth quarter of chapter 6 and chapter 7, the entire chapter, Angasya. So, bhasanyakasya Angasya, T, Te lopa bhavati, Diti pratyaya prataha. The T bhaga is Achavantyadi T is An. T bhaga is An. Karkasha Parva A. So now we got what? We got Karkasha Parva. And so now, one more time, it formed Karkasha Parvan is something, in this case a stick or Shurpanakha's finger, whose joints were rough and hard joints or sections. And then we need to get the Pratyaya Dap optionally. Ananta Bahuri compound gets Pratyaya Dap optionally, and then 4-1-13, then Anubandalo Pichutu Halantyam, and because of this Pratyaya is a dit, we get Angam as the Vasanya Vayachibham, we get Tehe Sutram, and then that gives us the form T Lopaha Karkasha Parva. And then the same thing, Venuvat Karkasha Parva. Same thing we used in the beginning of the class today. We had these two compounds we used in the beginning of the class. You remember that? Upamanani Samanya Vachanaihi. So we had Shivavat Ghorasvana. We had one. And then we had Kokilavat Manjuvadini. We have second. Now we are in the same class. We have third one now, which is this Venuvat Karkasha Parva. So this we're talking about the finger now. Angulya Visheshanam. This is not Visheshanam for Shurpanakha. We're talking these three adjectives are for the finger, not for Shurpanakha. Because this is Vakranakha Dharinya, Venu Karkasha Parvaya, and then Ankushakaraya, Angulya. This was a finger which had hard or rough joints or sections like a cane. So Venuvat Karkasha Parva. Venu Karkasha Parva. Same sutram again, like Meghashyamaha, because this is an adjective, it's Bahuri compound. So we got that is the common characteristic, the Samana Dharma, which is the Karkasha Parva, something which has hard joints. So that was one adjective. Now the other one which we did before was the Vakranakha. Vakranakha is a straightforward Karmadharya compound. Visheshanam, Visheshana, Bahulam. So look at the number again, 2157. Remember, from 2149, Panini starts this Samadhikaranena. So that's 21, this is Karmadharya section. So adjective noun is very simple, adjective noun compound. Then what we do is that we take Dhatu Dhru and add the Pratyaya Nish. This Dhatu Dhru is a bit controversial, okay? This Dhru, whether it is in the Churadigana or not, is a controversy. So if it's not Churadigana, we cannot make Swarthe Nich, we would make Hetumati Nich. See, the Dhatu in Churadigana takes Swarthe Nich. Coming in the next Saturday class, by the way. Next Saturday class, we start Churadigana. And then we'll be using the sutram, which is saying Satyavapasha Ityadi Churadibhyo Swarthe Nich. Swarthe means Artha Parivartam Vina. Without changing the meaning, we take the Nish Pratyaya. But that's only if Dhatu Churadiganaha. This Dhatu Dhru, according to many people, is not Churadiganaha. We would use Hetumaticha. Hetumaticha means Dhru is to bear or to hold, to carry, to support, Dharanam, But we have to make it, if it's not Churadiganaha, we have to make it to cause to bear, to cause to hold. It's not a very different meaning to cause to bear and to bear. So this is anyway, so by either the Churadibhyo Swarthe Nich Athva Hetumaticha, we'll get the Pratyaya Nich and make a new dhatu called Dhari. Because Nich means Chutu Halantyam Anubandalopaha Achogyiti. Because this is a Nit Pratyaya, the ending Ach takes Vriddhi Adeshaha, Uranraparaha, then Sanajanta Dhatavaha, this gets a Dhatu Sanya Dhari. And then why I'm making all of this, because look at what Vigraha Vakyam has been given Malinatha. He says that Vakranakam, no commentary on that, straightforward, Karmadharya compound, Visheshanam Bahulam, Dharayati iti Vakranakha Dharini, Taya Angulya. So it is a finger which is bearing these crooked nails. Crooked nails. So we have. So now we take this same sutram, Upapada Samasaha, which is the Vakra Nakhani Dharayati Tachila Vakra Nakhadharini. This says this habitually she has this finger, has these crooked nails. Upapadamating, same steps that we had before. Tatra Upapadam Saptami Stham, then the Supya Jata or Nistachilya. I think we can use this. And then we make Vakra Nakha. The entire samudaya gets the Adivati Sanya by the Krittajita Samasashcha, this is Samasaha, and then the Antarvarti Sup takes look by Supo Dhatu Pradipatika Yoho. Meanwhile, Chutu, then Upadeshi Jananasikait, so become in, and then Nirniti, again same thing, this Pratyaya Ini, Nini, Sanya of Ardhadhatukam by Ardhadhatukam Sheshaha. It cannot take idagamaha. Remember one thing, always. To get idagamaha, pratyaya has to be valadi. It has to be valadi. First of all, has to be valadi. This is not valadi, this is ajadi pratyaya. So, idna sambhavati, nirlopaha, nirniti, manidada ardhatuke pare nirlopasyate. So that becomes, this ikar of nish takes lopa, becomes vakranatra dharin. Then the same thing in the feminine, we make it the ugitascha, sorry, rinnebhyo nipa. It's a wrong number. I think it's 415. I think it's a wrong number. I put rinnebhyo nip. Nakaranta pratipadikam in the feminine, like a yogin becomes yogini. Same thing here. Rinnebhyo nip. Nip. Of course, nip means lashakvatadite halantyam. And then nattam. Atkupanim Vayapi Vakranakadharini. This is the Anguli which is bearing these crooked nails. And the last compound actually Mulinatha gives himself in the commentary, he gives kindly for us. Let's follow the commentary now. Sa Shurpanakha Vakranakam Dhar, we just did this one. Vakranakam Dharayatiti Vakranakha Dharini. Then Taya. Because remember, Sa is Shurpanakha, Taya is the Angulya. Venuvat, we just saw also, Upamanani Samanya Vachanaihi. So Venuvat, like Megashamaha, Megavat Shamaha. Venuvat Karkasha Parvaya. So Karkasha Parva was Bahuvrihi, and then we put the Bahuvri inside Karmadharya compound, with the Upamanam was the Purupadam. So Venuvat, you see the Vat there, Vatiprateha, that's the Upamanam, like that, comparison. Venuvat Karkasha Parvaya. Ata eva. So because it had these rough, hard joints, and it was also bearing these crooked nails, so it looked like a ankushasya akaraha iva akaro yasyaha sa ankushakara, which has taken the form like this gourd which he used to control the elephants, like a gourd. I think they call it a gourd, ankusha. Ankusha is a gourd. So Ankushasya akara hiva akara yasyaha sa taya angulya. So it was one which had the shape like that of a gourd used to control elephants. Because atayva means for this reason itself. Therefore, because it had these crooked nails, it had this crooked form, and it also had this rough joints, hard joints. Therefore, it looked like that. Now, from yesterday's class, we know this Vartikam already. We did in detail in yesterday's class. So we have this Vartikam. In fact, no, we have not done this one yet. I'm sorry. It's going to come in the Wednesday class. Next class it will come. This is what is called as the Ushtramukha Samasaha. So Saptamya Upamana Pura Padasya Uttarpada Lopashti. Another Vartikam on 2-24. Let's forget something for the time being, but Upamana Pura Padasya. So and the example given here is that Ushtrasya Mukham yo Mukham Yasya Saha Ushtra Mukhaha. So one whose face is like the face of a camel. Ushtra Mukha Mukha. But instead of that, the Purapadam Ushtra Mukha becomes Ushtra for short, camel face. becomes camel face. It means that one who has the face like the face of a camel. So this is a very famous example of this Vartikam. So these kind of compounds are called Ushtamukha compounds. And the Vartikam is, so this is the Saptamyantam Upamanam cha. So Saptamyantam, this is another category, we don't have that right now, so ignore that for time being. Upamanam cha Purapadam Yasya Tasya Padantarena Samasaha Uttarapada Lopascha Bhavati Tirtaha. So Ushtra Mukha Mukha, Ushtra Mukha. Now my example in the Gita, this is a Vartikam on 2.2.24. It's a Bahuri compound. We're not talking about the face, we're talking about one who has the face. Now I give a new name to this compound. This is my own thing. We call the Vrakodara compounds. In Gita, Bhimasena, he has a stomach like that of a wolf. So Vrukasya Udaram Iva Udaram Yasya Saha. So who is a wolf stomach? So one with a stomach like the stomach of a wolf. So that is Bhima, of course, Bhimaha. So I call them these Rukodara compound. And this is my own name. This is not it. But in Vyakaranam they call Ushtamukha compounds. This one is my own name, Rukodara compounds. Bhagavad Gita is example here. So Ankusha Akaraha. So one whose shape, Akara is a shape, was like the shape of this gourd. This is the Vartikam for that. In the next Wednesday class we'll have this. So they oftentimes called Ushtamukha compounds because it's a very famous example of this class. So the Uttarpada takes of the Purapadam takes Lopaha. This is the Upamana Purapadam which you have. Okay. Now so he in fact kindly has given us that. So Ankushasya Akareva Akarasya. Again look, he will not give you the Sutram or the Vartikam, anything. We have to know from this sentence, the standard sentence, Vigrahavakyam, that what he's talking about. So this is where we have to know. So if you don't know Vyakaranam, if you look at this thing, you don't know exactly what is he trying to say. What he's trying to say is that he expects us to know this Vartikam. Saptamyupamana Purapadasya Uttarpada Lopascha. So this is go back to the same thing, that is compound. We have to know the terminology, the lingo. You have to know the lingo. So Ankushasya Akareva Akarayasyaha Sangulyaha. Then Tau Raghavo, he clarifies. Tau is Raghavo, always, a pronoun. Ambare is Vyomni Sthita, in the sky. He supplies Sthita, situated in the sky. Now he gives Ambaram Vyomni Vasasi Ityamaraha. Amar Kosha gives two meanings of Ambaram, like Pita Ambaraha Vishnu. Vyomni Vasasicha. It means it can mean a cloth or a garment or the sky. It's clearly not a garment over here. So Ambaram Vyomni Vasasiti Amaraha. So you always take the support of Shabda Kosha of the lexicon and says it also means Vyomni. Now time is almost up. Let's take this Atarja Yat is clearly Bhartsayat, Abhartsayat, Tarja Bhartsane. Now this thing we'll take next time. Okay, I'll take this next time. What he's trying to explain over here is that Atarjayat is a lang lakala like Abhavat. Very quickly what we have here is that this dhatu is, you can see the aya, the pratyam nich has come in here. We'll do the vyakaranam next time with this last form. So dhatu is tarja, santarjane, I think some people have bharsane also. Add the this is the churadi ganaha. Add the pratyam nich, swarte nich, churadibhyo swarte nich becomes tarji. So chutu halantyam, chutu halantyam, then you get the dhatu sanya, sanarjata dhatavaha, and then after that the same thing we did with ayojayat, all the same steps. So we get tarji, instead of yoji we have tarji plus lang, pratyaya tip comes, anubandha lopaha, and then we get itascha, then pratyaya shap comes, kartari shap, in the meanwhile anubandha lopaha, then sarvadhatakayo gunaha, gunadesha echayavayavaha, tarjayat, and adagamaha, lung lung rung shvradataha, atarjayat, ayojayat. Now, next time in the class, we'll do a translation now. If you want to do some homework, next time in the class, I'm going to explain to you. The problem Mulinatha has is as follows. What he says is that, and we'll do this next time, iti tarja bharsane iti dhatoho, chauradikad, anudattetvad atmane padena bhavyam. So the problem Mulinatha has here is that this dhatu, in the dhatu pataha, anudakta upadesha, anudakta it. So by the sutra which we, of course, we know very well, anudakta nita atmanipadam, should take an atmanipadam. Now how come Kalidasa says atarjayat, should become atarjayato? That he gives a reason for that, we see in the class next time, okay? Let's do a translation here. So he gives a reason why this parasmay padam can be justified. We take it next time. Time is up. Let's bring out. In fact, Vain, are you there? You want to do this one? Yes, you come and join us with a lot of effort. You ready, Vain?
Yes.
You hear me?
Yeah, I'll try. Yes.
Okay, since you
Yeah, I
have
can
come
hear
so
you
much,
now.
so much effort, we give you this sammanam. Even though Nagaraji is there, as always,
Yeah.
but
He
you
is
can
the
try
he is the expert.
Adiptatah Sthiraha. Yes, always
Yeah.
there. So very grateful to him. Okay, now going up and making her footing in the air. It's all taken together. We'll try it. It's only one word in the shloka. This is all under, this is in brackets. Going up and making her footing is the vyak sthita in the commentary. The commentary sthita. What is in the shloka? What do you have in for in the air?
In the air is ambara is the air.
Ambare.
Ambare.
Ambare vyomni ambare. So it's going up and making her footing is the commentary sthita, should be in brackets.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's the commentary sthita.
So literally we only have in the air.
In the air, but means situated, stationed in the air, situated, so that's understood. In the air, so ambare.
She is sa.
She is sa, very good.
Right.
Threatened.
Threaten them.
Threatened.
Threaten is
Atarjayat.
Okay.
That's the only verb in the whole thing. Atarjayat.
yeah, atarjayat, yes.
Then two of them is
Tau.
Tau.
Yes, tau.
This Echo Yavayava. So Tau Atarjayat. So Tau Atarjayat. Yes, this is Echo Yavayava Sandhi. Echo Yavayava.
Yes.
So Tau Atarjayat become Tau Atarjayat.
Correct, yeah.
With
her
is the
finger.
So with is the Tritya Vibhakti. Her finger is
Angulya with her
Angulya,
finger.
Which
Okay.
bore curved nails.
Curved nails is vakra nakha.
And then
Vakra nakha.
bore is the Dharini.
Which bore? Okay. All right.
So that is the Vakra Nakha Dharinya. So which bore, this is qualifying the finger, which bore curved nails.
Yes.
The and is understood, whose
Right.
joints were
Joints
as
is
tough and hard.
Karkasha parvaya.
Venu Karkasha Parvaya.
Yeah,
So
whose
this
joints
Karkasha
were
is,
tough.
so joints, knots is the Parvan. And tough and hard is the Karkasha.
Karkasha and Venu is the
And those
bamboo.
of bamboo.
Yes.
So this is the Venuvat.
Right.
Venuvat Karkasha Parvaya. And which therefore, again the commentary by the way. Ata eva, commentary. Ata eva. Ataha eva. So this should be in the brackets. This therefore should be in the bracket. This is the commentary Ataha eva.
Right.
Look
They do have
like,
brackets some places. So some places they put brackets. Some places they don't.
no. What he's doing is that Vain is that
yeah.
the commentary is not in brackets in this translation. See, wherever he puts his own thing like a second word.
Alternative word. Joint versus
alternative
not.
words. Yeah. So
Yeah,
commentary would be under like a square bracket.
Oh, okay,
Under
got it.
bracket.
Now I got it. Yes.
So he has put in this particular book. He has done it like that.
Yes.
But it confuses us because we're trying to match it up, and then so therefore is Ataha eva.
Okay. Looked like a goat.
Looked like a
Ankushakaraya.
Ankushakaraya. Literally had the form of a goat. That is the akara. Akara. So this is akara at the end of a compound is a very common Bahuri compound. So something which looks like that. Akaraya. So means akarena. So this means that which is the form of X. It looks like X, So basically, so that is why he makes it simply which looked like. But technically it's a Bahuri compound, one whose form is like the form of that X, whatever that might be.
Yes.
So that is the way to form a Bahuri compound, something look like that. looking
day.
like.
Yes.
Okay. So
Satishji,
yes, sir.
the index finger is the Tarjani. Is that because it's the threatening finger?
Yes, absolutely. Tarjani. In fact, time is up, but for Vasu, for you, I'll give sutram for that. And the sutram is, no, it's a sutram which is the pratyaya lyut, which is the 3-3. I think it is, I know time is up, but since you, karnadikarana yoscha, word like, like dharani is the earth, lekhani is something you write with, tarjani, sanjivani vidya, a lot of these feminine word, rajdhani. So all these words that use the pratyaya lyut, because the pratyaya lyut is used bhave to form these abstract nouns in the neuter, but it's also used to form a number of words in karnadikarana yoscha, that by which or in which or on which you do an action. And then that one is not neuter necessarily. We think of lyut as neuter, like karanam, dharanam, lekhanam, darshanam. Those are all neuter. Lyutcha, because napumsake bhavekta lyutcha. But this anurutya napumsake does not go into this sutra, karnadikarana yoscha. So when you form like lekhani, so likhyate anaya iti lekhani, that by which you write. Sanjivani vidya, Shukracharya Sanjivani vidya he had, right? Sanjivyate anaya vidya iti sanjivani vidya, that by which you make somebody alive again. So it is karnadikarana. So dharani. So dharani is that in which everything is held, is the earth. So it's adhikarana. So then what happens is that once you add a pratyaya, of course, you becomes ana. So that tarja, same dhatu become tarji. Add the same ana, niraniti become tarjana. And then by tidhani, you make it into tarjani. Yes, so yes, the same dhatu. But we are using this sutram karnadikarana yoscha. Karnadikarana yoscha, the pratyaya lyut is used, and these are not necessarily feminine. So so not necessarily neuter. They are, in fact, many of them are feminine. We can use that one. Okay, so let's thank you, Vain, thank you, Vasu.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Ramo Rajamanis Sada Vijayate Ramam Ramesham Bhaje Ramena Vihata Nishachara Chamo Ramaya Tasmai Namaha Raman Nasti Parayanam Parataram Ramasya Dasosmyaham Rame Chittale Sada Bhotame Bhora Mama Muddhara Rama Rameti Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasranama Tattalyam Rama Nama Varanane Sri Rama Nama Varanana Ondam.